All right, so you've probably learned those bright, happy-sounding chords, but today we're going a little deeper. We're going to get into the real heart of musical expression. We're here to find the soul of the guitar.
And this idea right here, it's the key to everything we're about to unlock. See, music isn't just about being happy, right? It's about everything. The whole range of what we feel. And that's what minor chords give us. They're the depth, the contemplation, that emotional weight. It's like the guitar is leaning in to tell you a secret.
So, let's get to know this other voice. And don't worry, it's not any harder than what you already know. It's just different. Think of it as the intimate, quieter side of your guitar.
Yeah, this really lays it all out, doesn't it? Major chords, they're bright, they're open, luminous. Minor chords, on the other hand, are more intimate. They have this feeling of nostalgia, of quiet thought. It's a huge shift in mood, and it's all right there under your fingers.
And here's the most important part. You absolutely do not need to know a single bit of music theory for this. The goal right now is just to feel it. Your ear, it gets it. It understands the emotion way before your brain starts trying to figure out the why. So for now, just listen. That's your only job.
Okay, so let's meet the 3 chords that are going to open up this whole new world. I like to think of them as the sensitive siblings to the major chords you might already know. These are going to be your new emotional companions on the fretboard.
First up, we've got A minor, or AM for short. This one is, it's one of the most common and honestly one of the most rewarding minor chords you'll ever learn.
Okay, so grab your guitar. For this one, your index finger goes on the 1st fret of the B string. That's the 2nd string from the bottom. Then, your middle and ring fingers are going to sit right next to each other on the 2nd fret, covering the D and G strings. That's the 4th and 3rd strings. Got it? Now just strum down from the A string, the 5th string, and you know what's so cool about this one? If you already know A major, you're literally 1 finger away. You just move a single finger, and you completely change the entire feeling of the chord. It's an incredibly simple but powerful shift, almost like a little magic trick.
All right, let's move on to our second companion, D minor. This one has a very special feel to it. The shape itself kind of looks like a little triangle. Your index finger is on the 1st fret of the high E string. Your middle finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string, the 3rd string. And then your ring finger has to stretch a little to the 3rd fret of the B string, the 2nd string. You're going to strum from the D string, the 4th one, down. Yeah, it might feel a little different at first, a little cramped, but trust me, that unique shape is exactly what gives this chord its unique voice.
And sweet with a touch of nostalgia is the perfect way to describe it. It's not really sad, you know? It's wistful. Try this. Play a D major. Then switch to this D minor. Go ahead. Hear that? The root note is the same, but the feeling, totally different. It's amazing.
And finally, we come to what is, I think, one of the easiest and one of the most powerful chords on the entire guitar, E minor.
It honestly doesn't get much easier than this. We're talking just 2 fingers, your index finger goes on the 2nd fret of the A string, that's the 5th string, and your middle finger goes right under it, 2nd fret of the D string, the 4th string. That's it. Now strum all 6 strings. Go on, let that big, open, dark sound just ring out. Its simplicity is its real power. Okay, so knowing the shapes, that's step 1. That's great. But making them second nature, turning them into pure intuition, that's where the real magic is. So let's go over a few simple exercises to really build that muscle memory. Okay, exercise 1 is what I call the loop. It's super simple. You're just going to move from M to DM to EM and then right back to M. And listen, the goal here is not speed, it's consistency. Go as slow as you need to. You're just teaching your brain and your fingers the paths to get from one shape to the next.
So as you're doing this, you've got to ask yourself a question. What are you aiming for? Is it about hitting every chord perfectly? Or is it about something else?
And here it is, the single most important rule of practice. Your strumming hand, the one that's strumming, never stops. I mean it. Even if your other hand is slow, even if you totally mess up the chord, you keep that strumming hand moving at a steady pace. Why? It's simple. If you stop strumming, you're teaching your brain to just stop when things get hard. But if you keep going, you teach your brain to adapt, to catch up. And that is the real secret to getting good.
All right, so once that loop starts to feel kind of comfortable, it's time to shake things up.
For this next exercise, you're just going to change between the 3 chords in a totally random order. Go from AM to EM to DM, then maybe DM to AM to EM. The point is to keep it unpredictable. You're trying to confuse your brain a little bit to force it off autopilot. That's how you really train your fingers and build that solid muscle memory.
And now for the last exercise. This is where it all starts to feel like real music. You're going to start mixing the happy-sounding major chords you already know with these new, more soulful minor chords. Try going from an A major to an A minor, or D major to D minor. Start making up your own little sequences. This is the moment you stop just practicing shapes and you start actually training your musical ear. You're learning to feel what sound wants to come next.
So let's just take a step back. What have we actually done here? Well, you've just unlocked an entirely new emotional palette. You literally have more colors to paint with. You can now tell a much fuller, a much more complete story with your music.
Think about it, with just 6 chords. 6. A, D, and E major. And now A, D, and E minor, you have the fundamental tools to express pretty much any emotion you can think of. You've got the light and the shadow, the joy and the quiet contemplation.
This is the big change. Your guitar, it doesn't just smile anymore. Now it can sigh, it can reflect, it can dream. You've just given it a soul. You've given it the ability to express how complex life really is.
So, you have the chords, you have the rhythm, you have everything you need. There's really only one question left. Now that you have this new voice, what's the first story you're going to tell?